Thank you, Jarrett, for joining us. We know that this has been a really hard process for you, but we really wanted to get your side of the story, as we know that you're very, very integrated into the Humboldt community, being a player on the Humboldt team for 3 years and being the captain for 2. When first hearing about the incident when we were at the athletic banquet, how did you take it all in?
Well, actually, about an hour before the banquet, I was actually talking to the pastor, the chaplain of the team, Sean Brando, and one of the kids on the team is actually going to get baptized, so we were just kind of talking about plans of that, and he wanted me to send in a little video and talk about the kid there, and then I got a text in the middle of that saying, there's been an accident, start praying. And so the first instinct is kind of like disbelief. I had to text him again and be like, the Bronco bust, ? And then, he's like, yeah, it's bad. And then, I'm pacing back and forth. I'm texting everyone I know. And kind of by 15 minutes later, I'm kind of just laying on the ground, really not knowing what to do. And then I got to pull myself together, and I come to the banquet. And then we ended up praying for the bus accident there. And it was very overwhelming. And then after that, just the whole night, I literally just stared at my phone screen looking for answers, and really just wasn't getting any, and nothing could really be confirmed. And at one point I even had somebody call me and tell me that like one of my best friends had passed away, and turns out he was alive and he's well. So there's just like stuff like that kind of happening throughout.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we could completely understand why you'd obviously want to go back to your hometown and go into the hospitals where your friends and the players are. But what really drove you, and what was your experience being there with them?
Well, first off, last year around finals time, I also had a friend pass away, and I didn't make the funeral, and I've kind of lived in like a year of like regret over that. So this time around, I was like, I need to be home no matter like how I get there. Like I know that some of my friends have passed away, and I need to be at their funerals. My second thought was that like these people are very confused and are just like looking for any type of love, and I felt like I was kind of called there just to like hug or hold them or do whatever I can. I think just every extra little body that like can add support would definitely be help, and just like my connection to the community. Like when I walk down in Humboldt, like I'm actually like a known face there, so like I mean it just adds another comfort level to the city having me there and just being with the people, and it adds comfort to myself. Like I need that. I need to be surrounded by those people. I need to hold those people for my own benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Viewing from worldwide, people have seen the visual that was shown online, and it seemed very God-focused. How has this whole experience impacted the spirituality or just the general mentality of Humboldt?
Yeah, watching the video, I wasn't really like surprised by the words that came out of Sean's mouth. He's a very strong and spiritual man, and what I was blown away was how well he spoke there. And actually, Sean is one of my mentors here. In the summer, we go for hot tubs and we went ice fishing at Christmas. And I think just like some of the conversations we had, like was with some of the things that he was struggling with is how dead Christianity is in Humboldt. And I know from my experience even last year, becoming a Christian, and then that was one of the things I was scared about is going back to Humboldt. I have no friends there that are dedicating their life to God, and I just was kind of scared that I wasn't going to be surrounded by that type of community. Mm-hmm. And so that was just something that we've always talked about, and then this event happens, and I think God just really put Sean at the forefront there and allowed him to speak. And I think the one night I was texting him, it was 3 a.m. after the vigil, and I was like, yeah, Sean, I can't sleep, I just need some help or whatever. And here he had been up till 3 sharing the gospel with person after person after person. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
So more specifically, Darcy Hogan, he was the coach of the Humboldt team. He's been there since 2015. He was coaching when you were there. From everything I've read, everyone just has absolute praise for how he was as an individual. Could you touch base on how he impacted you and the team around you?
Yeah, I was there for his first year. It was a bit of a feel out year for him. We didn't do very well hockey-wise. He was making the jump from Junior B to Junior A. But Humboldt, when they were choosing a coach, they were looking for a community guy. And I noticed that we were always kind of involved in the community quite a bit as the Broncos, volunteer work and stuff like that. But there was just a few extra little tidbits of volunteer work for us to do. We were in the schools, we're serving lunches, and so he just really wanted to connect the team to the community, and so I know that was a big driving force of his. And one thing that he definitely cared about was just developing a good all around person, and hopefully a godly person or a Christian. But I think he just cared so much about the character and wasn't so much focused on the results. I mean, obviously everybody wants the results as a coach and wants to win a championship, but I don't think that was his driving force. I think yeah.
So from seeing how the world has responded to this incident with the GoFundMe page raising over $15 million, how can we at home show our support to the community?
I think it's kind of one of those situations where no one really knows what to do, and everybody's kind of just trying to do what they can, and I think that's evident throughout the money that has been raised, and it's kind of a tangible thing that can definitely be seen and say, okay, yeah, I've supported this team or whatever. But at this point, obviously financially they've been supported, and when I was down in Humboldt, just being around the people, they were supported the way they needed to be. I think Humboldt did a really good job. They gathered everybody at the rink there, and I think it was just really it was really sad, but it was also beautiful at the same time. The fact that people are people that have known each other or seen each other around town, but haven't really had conversation or whatever, so that they're hugging each other, they're supporting each other. So as support from the outside is that just keeping people in your prayers, and people are still very, very hurt, and people are things are starting to slow down now, and reality's setting in a little bit more. And I think just praying for comfort and in a time like this is really all we can do. And if you are in contact with somebody, just make sure that person knows that they're loved.
Mm-hmm. So being back into everyday life at Trinity, how has that been for you? And through all this trial, how has this tested your faith or made you grow as a person? Yeah, it's definitely tested my faith in a lot of areas. I've just seen God work through all the people around me. I mean, there's been so much love, just from a lot of people who I maybe barely knew. People that I really know have just stayed right beside my side, and they they didn't have to do that, but they did, and I think I didn't, just realizing how much that people around here actually care about me. So that was really cool. And yeah, no, I'm working through a lot of things right now, on a lot of different levels, and this is kind of something that I've never really experienced before, and yeah, there's just a lot of confusion and stuff like that, and I think right now I don't know how I'm growing in that sense. I know that I have an obstacle in front of me, and that further down the road I'll understand, and I'll be able to maybe face something similar to what I'm feeling right now, because I'm really having a hard time feeling anything. It's just very numb and very yeah, I don't know. So. Well, I just want to let you know that you're extremely inspiring to all of those around you, and thank you so much for coming and talking to us. We know that takes a lot of bravery.